Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Comedian's Tea Party. In this episode we have special guest Sarah Breese, or that may be Breeze, I'm not entirely sure. We discuss how that could differ according to the Welsh language. Speaking of, she teaches me some of the Welsh alphabet, either that or she was choking on her food, I'm not sure which it was. But that was a lot of fun. We also believe we may have discovered the long lost Welsh queue, which previously potentially did not exist. Sarah teaches me about her inventive way to make tea, which, to be perfectly honest, I'm amazed that more people don't do. We also talk about some of her experiments to discover the best food. Like, she's got scientific experiments to discover the best food. It's worth listening to because it's quite incredible. For snacks and all sorts. Very inspirational. Teaches me all about various scientific things. Temperature of chocolate and mayonnaise and mustard. This is a short podcast because we both had to get off. I had to, Sarah's running a gig and I had to go and perform at it. So that's where we had to get off to. And I did say at the end that we would try the other tea that we were intending to drink. And I was going to tell you what it tastes like during the intro. But I'll tell you what, we didn't drink it, so couldn't tell you. But I'll drink it soon and I'll let you know. We also touch on some things that may please people who like ASMR. It also may completely turn other people off of listening to the podcast ever again. And I hope that is not the case, because please keep listening. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. It was a lot of fun and the chat's got absolutely ridiculous. I also just want to say a quick apology for the lateness of this coming out. Now, I've not come up with a sort of designated day that this will be coming out every week yet, but it was delayed coming out this week because I had a bit of a nightmare and my OneDrive went wrong and I lost the file with Sarah's microphone on it, so I had to start all over again. Absolute nightmare. But we got there. We got it back and it's all good. Enjoy the podcast. Welcome to episode 2 of the Comedian's Tea Party with Deaves. With me, Deaves, and my second guest, Sarah Breese. Is it Sarah Breese? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think it's Breeze, just because.
Breeze.
Yeah, because we're in Wales, by the way. This is welcome
I know
to
that.
Wales. Well, yeah, but they don't.
Right, good point.
And because I am from Wales, there is no Z in the Welsh alphabet, so that's
not.
No. So I think it's the same word. It's Breeze, but we have to put an S in it because we haven't got a.
Have you got loads of vowels?
We've got loads of vowels. Well,
Like more vowels than in the English language?
that's a good point. We've got in Welsh the vowels are a, e, u, which is a, e, I. The W and Y.
W, okay, right. I
think.
didn't think that's where you're going to go with those.
Yeah, I think that's it. Unless I've
what I like
remembered it wrong.
about AEI there is that is pronounced in the same way that a child would pronounce it whilst learning to speak.
That's a good point, but it's all phonetic. That's the good thing about. I mean, you've been past a bunch of Welsh road signs by the on the way getting
I
here.
have, yeah, and they start quickly. It says "Welcome to Wales," and then immediately something that I didn't understand.
Right, yeah, but there was English underneath it though.
No, there was another sign about 50 yards down the road that was the same, and I didn't know what it was, and I thought, well, that is like, they're just "Welcome to Wales." Sod you. They just immediately show, but then there was a sign like 50 yards down the road going, "Don't worry."
I like that you have to leave now with the mystery of not knowing what that was. Quite a lot, yeah, but yeah. They're mostly bilingual, I think. I don't think they're dangerous ones. Actually, sometimes these are the ones I like. They, the flashy ones on the motorway where you've got like the dots that say messages.
Yes.
So they flash up with one language and then they'll flash up with the other.
Right.
So which one you pass is a matter of chance. So if you don't speak both, it depends on how fast you're driving as to whether or not you get the urgent warning about road conditions.
I went past one a minute ago it was Welsh at the top and then English underneath. But when I say English underneath, it was saying Q after junction. But instead of saying the word Q, it just had the letter Q.
Right.
Which obviously, like, sort of generally, you'll look at it and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, cool, I get that." But if you're driving quickly and it's just like a sort of a dirty O, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's an O after a junction? Oh God.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, I don't know if there is a Q in Welsh.
Is there not?
Hang on. I'd have to go through the entire alphabet, but I can't have a... Oh, sorry, I'm trying to remember the whole thing.
Were you,
I don't think
were
there
you saying
is.
any of it then, or was that?
Yeah, that was the alphabet.
I didn't know if you're having a stroke.
No, that was just, like, it starts with like that.
I wish
That
you'd
is
have
it.
warned me, because I'm pretty sure that you've just spat in my tea.
These very appealing. We've both got the same tea.
Yes.
I know nobody knows what we've done. We've done them differently.
We have done them. So what we've got here is because the kind people at Teapigs sent me some free tea bags, just a massive box full.
Massive box full.
It's overflowing. I had to get rid of some. Not get rid of them, like they're being used, but I had to decant them. But what we're drinking here is the chocolate and mint Retro Joy in the biodegradable Tea Temple, which is it's a little bit pretentious. I'm not gonna lie, Tea Temple.
A tea temple, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pyramid shaped.
Nobody's praying here, are they?
Well, we've both done very different things.
We
with
have
the
done
same
very different
tea.
things. It suggests on the back that you can add milk or cream if you desire. And you could also brew it for at least 3 minutes. Now, what I've done is I've gone bag in, no milk. Mm-hmm. Sarah's gone bag out, milk.
But I took the bag out at precisely 3 minutes, which is exactly what it said on the instructions. So, and it did say that you can add milk, and I just didn't want to live with myself not having tried the milk when it was suggested to me.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, but I've never tried this tea as it is, so
yeah, me either.
Right.
And I want to, but you've got milk in yours to cool yours down. But
you've got it pure.
This is pretty hot.
Right, I'm actually going to try it though, because it does smell nice.
It smells. Yeah, it smells. It does. It smells nice, but a little bit like medicine. If you smell it without the milk in.
I mean, it's got like a weird sort of brown tinge of stuff floating on it, which
yeah,
is quite
I
exciting.
can't see that. Mine's
which is great. All right, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it.
Mine's disguised by its own natural colours.
Oh, it does look. Yeah, yours looks like a standard peppermint tea colour.
Hmm.
I'm doing it.
Go on.
Can I? Right?
Yeah.
Do I have to do it loudly for the...
Absolutely not. No, it's disgusting. I really prefer if you didn't.
Right. Oh. That's really mild.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's not what I expected you to say at all. I didn't know if you were going through more of the Welsh alphabet there for a second.
That's not... Yeah, nervously every so often I'll just start, coughing consonants. No, I thought that was going to be... Do you know what? I thought that was going to be weirder with the milk in, but actually that's quite nice. I don't know. I think
Interesting.
The milk does actually blend quite nicely with it. I thought that I'd made a horrible mistake, but it turns out I've probably just made quite a mild mistake. Not you don't look that convinced.
No, it's quite minty.
It's quite mint. It doesn't taste too different from regular mint.
No, it's quite it's fairly nice. I'd like a bit more chocolate from the chocolate and mint. At this point, largely just mint.
I think it called itself a sweet treat, and I'm not sure that is all that sweet.
Do you know what? It's not sweet. That's what it is. It's slightly bitter, if anything.
Do you think? I think the milk.
Yeah,
maybe...
it's kind of sweet. It is minty. The mint has stayed on my lips.
Yeah, I think maybe you should have added milk.
I think you could be right.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
That's good podcasting. I mean, there are people that like those noises, aren't there?
What, the ASMR people? I couldn't remember which. Wait, ASMR is the sounds. ANPR is the cameras that detect when you're speeding.
Yes.
Right. And this one is...
ASMR.
ASMR, right.
Yeah. Autosensory something.
Yeah. Tasty... No. Also...
I know the other one, which is automatic number plate recognition.
Yes. We should talk about that for a while.
Should we? No, what we should talk about is... You just blew my mind.
Right.
I mean, just making your tea, taking your tea bag out. She's pulled out a fork. I thought, oh my word, she's lost her mind. Did a Welsh... Are they mad? And then you've raised a very good point.
What, about how when you squeeze a tea bag, you don't want to use this... Because if you use a spoon to squeeze a tea bag against the side of the glass, all you're going to do is keep all of the moisture still in the tea bag. But if you use a fork, there's all the gaps, so all the liquid runs down.
It all gets out like an infuser of sorts.
Yeah, it's like a.
It's incredible thinking.
Yeah, it's engineering at its finest, I'd say.
It really is. Yeah, that's the equivalent of getting a spatula and sort of. Like a holy spatula. It's not
honest.
at all. It's like getting what it's like. It's like getting a fork. It's like exactly what you just did. Yeah.
The right tool for the right job. If I'd had a spatula, I'm pretty sure that would be the thing that I'd have grabbed.
I will say, second sip, it got better.
All right.
It's growing on me.
You reviewed it quite low after the first sip, so.
I didn't. Well, no, I feel. Yeah, and maybe I passed judgment too soon, but I wasn't sure how I felt about it.
I think you were expecting a sweet treat, and were frankly somewhat disappointed by the promises given on the packet.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
No, it's quite nice.
It's quite nice, but misleading.
I would have liked it to have been more chocolatey.
Yeah, that's a good point. We could put some more chocolate in it.
Oh yeah, we should have just stirred it with like a dairy milk.
Yeah, I've got some there. I've got some dark chocolate just sort of balanced on my television. We could just start sticking more and more chocolate in until you decided that that's enough.
Yeah.
Maybe they tried that.
If you use milk chocolate, I feel like you're going to add milk and chocolate.
Yeah, but I've got milk. You could put milk in it anyway.
Yeah.
And then you could add chocolate.
We've gone somewhere weird with this conversation.
Yeah. Well, if you wanted to get scientific about it, we'd have to add the milk and the chocolate to separate cups. That's the most scientific method. I got made fun of yesterday on the way back from a gig because, right, have you ever made toasted sandwiches and then you butter the outside? Right, that's pretty much the standard.
What?
Like when you make a toasted sandwich, you butter the outside of the bread so that when it goes in the toasty, like it cooks and it keeps it all like golden and crispy on the outside.
I've never done that, but that does make sense.
Oh, okay. Well, that was going to be stage one of this conversation, but now I feel like I have to spend more time explaining.
No, I'm into it. Yeah, right. No, I get. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was stage one. However, there have been some renegades on the internet who have suggested that instead of butter, you should be using like mayonnaise on the outside because it's easier to spread and it helps make it like more golden and nice. Right. I feel like I think I just maybe assumed incorrectly, as it turns out, that everybody was privy to this specific debate that was ongoing and
absolutely not. No, but I mean, I'm intrigued.
Right.
Keep going.
Okay. So there was the butter versus mayonnaise.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Issue.
I'm not particularly a fan of mayonnaise anyway. So.
Oh right. Okay.
That's not a way I would go with that.
Are you a fan of cheese toasties though?
Yes.
As a thing, right? Well, I conducted an experiment and I made. Basically, I cut up a bunch of slices of bread into like tiny quarters and stuff, and then I made a series of mini toasties where I spread different things on the outside of all of them to figure out which one scientifically was like actually the best of all of these things.
That's incredible.
I mean, it is ridiculous.
Is it all in the same day, or you've got pictures?
I've got pictures. Yeah, I cut them up really small.
Can you send those to me, and I'll tweet them when I put this podcast out.
I mean, if people want to know the findings, here, look, there's one. Look these tiny sandwiches that I've made. See that? Tiny sandwiches.
Oh, well, literally like little samples.
Like tiny sandwiches. There's a tiny one that's got fillings in it. That's got mozzarella and rocket inside the tiny toasty. You can see my hands. But basically, I wanted to have like a proper answer to what is going to be best on the outside, to spread on the outside of your toasty when you're making it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Do you want to know my findings?
Absolutely, of course I do.
Right, because I'd always been a classic butter person. That was always the standard. And what I found is, if you swap it and you use mayonnaise, because it's easier to spread and it creates a nice kind of golden sheen on the outside. But if you put a tiny bit of mustard inside the mayonnaise, it makes the cheese toasty taste even cheesier. There we go.
Oh my word!
That is blown all your minds, people.
What's the ratio?
I reckon it was just like it was only like a tiny because I mean these toasties, as you'll see in the pictures, are like less than a quarter of the size of a regular. Size. Yeah, so I was only making like tiny amounts of stuff, but I reckon it was maybe 1/10 mustard to the rest mayo.
Yeah,
like it was a tiny amount. But what I did do was also quite nice.
Like the end of a knife.
Yeah, like a little tiny dot. I mean, there's a YouTube channel devoted to like tiny cooking. Have you seen this?
Yeah. Well, I've seen bits of it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's ridiculous.
I forgot what it's called, but they bake like a tiny cake that's the size of your thumb, but like it's a really complicated tiny cake. Yeah. Like it was basically that.
It's all well and good, like, but you're not doing that to eat it, are you? That's just.
You're not doing it if you're hungry.
Just to show off. Yeah. Look at this cake I've made. Just make a bigger one.
It's not a cake. You've made a crumb.
Yes.
It's very complicated.
What you've done there is spend a long time making a small mess.
Yeah. Also, right, what egg were they using for that tiny, tiny cake? Because if you use a chicken's egg, like you're going to have to crack an entire egg and then use like a 16th of a chicken's egg.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Like a quail's egg or something.
Quail's still quite big compared to the tiny little cakes they're making. We're talking about
Fish
like
eggs.
a fish egg. Is that going to have the same consistency?
Absolutely not. No,
It doesn't have a shell on it.
No.
What's the tiniest bird that we get? Like a hummingbird egg.
I don't know. Wrens?
Probably why they're endangered. People keep trying to... No. A wren. How big is a wren egg? Yeah, probably.
Wrens are pretty small.
I'm not advocating that we go start, like, trying to find wild tiny
I'm going to go
bird
ahead
eggs.
and say that we definitely shouldn't.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that people aren't thinking of it now. And what I'm saying is that wasn't my thinking. It was this YouTube channel that has caused this problem.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they should have cleared it up.
With David Attenborough or somebody.
It's their own fault. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody goes out there and starts attacking tiny birds to get their eggs, you do not have my backing.
You don't have to attack them. You can just like follow them around.
Or just point in the other direction.
Just robbing them.
The classic. What's that over there?
Yeah.
Steal their eggs. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't make tiny cakes, people.
No, make normal sized cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Battery farmed hens. That's what we need.
Right, this has taken a turn.
Yes, very much unexpected. Well, we ended up discussing the Bible in the episode with Carl. So
right, okay. So this isn't as. I mean, that sounds quite heavy. I don't think I've got the energy for that.
Yeah, no, I don't, well, no. I mean, that was earlier today for me, so
right.
I definitely don't have the energy for that.
No, none of that. I've got more. We can just keep doing food facts and all my food knowledge.
Go on. Yeah, I mean, well, okay. Let's go to tea. Are you a biscuit dunker?
I am. Yes.
Okay. What's your biscuit of choice?
Oh. Do you know what? I will dunk literally any biscuit. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think what I'm always on the lookout for is a new biscuit that maybe people haven't thought to dunk.
Right.
That's
so
what I quite like doing.
Are you doing? Is this what you do with food? Do you just experiment until you find the perfect?
Yeah, I mean, I live alone, so you've got to fill the time somehow.
What's the current forerunner on biscuits?
Well, I'll tell you, like, a classic that I like is that, so I lived in Australia for a little while, and do you know what a Tim Tam is? Like, there's a biscuit that's very similar to a penguin. It's very similar. It's slightly wider and stuff. And I don't know if it's a tradition there. It's a thing that all the people out there I knew did it. You bite the ends off, and then you use basically this penguin-like biscuit to suck your coffee through the biscuit. And you can do it with tea as well. And it's sort of nice. It's sort of like a mushy straw. And since we're getting away from like disposable plastics, I thought I'd just put that out there.
Absolutely.
Since, we've already been advocating the use of like wren's eggs and stuff. I thought maybe this would nicely balance it out.
Battery hens.
Yeah, and battery hens. Yeah, so
both are bad. Don't use either.
No. I mean, unfortunately, these biscuits do also come in a plastic wrapper, so it doesn't entirely eliminate the single-use plastic waste. But, still.
But it's not as thick plastic, is it? Imagine if it was. If each Tim Tam came in a tiny plastic suitcase.
Yeah. Very well protected.
Wasteful. Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe they should just start making... I don't know. In different countries, they make chocolate. Right, this is a fact that I learned. Like,
I did know that.
What?
I did know that.
Yeah, okay, good.
Good fact.
Fact number 2 about this thing that I started talking about. In hotter countries, they make the chocolate melt at different temperatures. So British dairy milk, for example, melts at like whatever temperature is sensible for us in the UK because we've got a slightly colder climate. If you go to like Australia and you have like an Australian Cadbury's, it melts at a higher temperature because it's so hot anyway. You don't want to melt it. You don't want it to melt on the shelves or in your fingers.
Does that affect the taste?
I think it's supposed to. Yeah, I think it does a bit. But
I imagine it would do.
Yeah,
it's got to.
I didn't try the two side by side, so I can't say for sure. I don't know whether you're allowed to legally import and export them by yourself. But
you're not generally with food. I don't know how chocolate works per se. But then surely you could buy it in the airport.
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know if you had to declare it on it, but I didn't want it to. I was scared that they would, totally have me. There was all this stuff about at the time. It was all like Steve Irwin says, "Don't bring in stuff to Australia," and I didn't want to upset him, so I didn't. And also I didn't know this fact then.
You could do it now though, because He can't get you?
I could get, yes, for a sweet £1,000 round trip, I could find the answer to this question.
Yeah.
But I do know that. But I do know it melts at different temperatures, so there we go. That's another food fact. I think I'm hungry. I don't know why I keep talking obsessively about...
Yeah, you did offer me food when I got here.
Yeah. And a shower, I might add.
Yeah.
I'm a really good host.
Yeah, excessive, if anything. I'm starting to understand why you don't have people here.
I'm very lonely.
Do you want to shower? No.
No. But just because that now sounds like it came out of nowhere, you did say, "Oh, I'm very smelly today."
I didn't. That's not what I said. I asked if I smelled because I get sweaty when I drive, and there was so much traffic that I couldn't stop on my way here from Cole. So I'm a little bit sweaty.
But if you arrive at someone's house, you're like, "Oh, I'm exceedingly hungry." Then surely they're going to say, "Oh, would you like a biscuit or something to eat?" And if you arrive at my house anyway, and you say, "Oh, I'm really smelly and sweaty,"
I should point out, I did not say that I was really smelly. We also established that I do not smell, so it's fine. I smell fine.
We've established from a distance that he does not smell. I can't. I'm not going to verify this. At the moment, I can just smell my chocolate. Actually, this tea does smell more like chocolate than it tastes of chocolate.
Yeah, it smells like mint chocolate. It tastes like mint.
Yeah, I think that's fair. We'll just eat some chocolate afterwards.
Yeah.
I'll balance it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind this.
Oh, good. It's slowly climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through the cup, but yeah.
The ratings are going up and up and up. By the bottom, it'll be ecstatic.
Yeah. It's starting to taste like an after 8.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still not tasting the chocolate. Do you know what? We've talked so much about chocolate. I think I'm just imagining chocolate.
Do you know what it is? I can't taste the chocolate in an after 8, but I know I've eaten chocolate.
Right.
And I think it's that. It tastes like an after 8, which is technically mint chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes slightly more like matchsticks. Not the actual
matchsticks.
Not the actual matchsticks.
Yeah, I don't know what you're referencing.
Have you not had chocolate matchsticks?
Oh, like matchmakers.
Yeah, maybe that's what I mean.
Right, okay, because I was just thinking about matches.
And I should point out that at no point do I profess to be the most informed on tea or snacks or anything.
Yeah, I just want to say at this point that I'm advocating. If somebody could try licking some matches and then writing in to let us know how that tastes.
Yes, rub a mint leaf on it as well. Just see what a difference that makes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon they'd be quite eggy with all that sulphur in them. Is there sulphur in them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what makes the. I think so anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that as a definitive answer, but I think there is sulphur in the.
Strikey bit.
That is exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And that is the scientific term now.
God, yeah, so much science today.
Yeah,
everyone at home is happy how much they're learning from us.
At no point did I realise that this was going to be such a scientific episode, but here we are. We're learning and we're laughing, and that's all we want.
Well, I think maybe when I get nervous, I'll say facts. Maybe that's just a thing I do now.
Yes. I mean, do you have any... I was talking about animals with Cole. Do you have any facts about animals?
I don't think so. I think we've got to wait until I get particularly nervous and just see if one sort of just blurts its way out.
So I'm reasonably certain I have more facts about animals than I have about anything else. I have a lot of random facts, but... For instance, did you know that pigeons' brains can process images twice as fast as human brains? So technically, comparatively, they can see in slow motion.
Huh. But how fast do they think?
Well, yeah, they can see it moving that quickly. Like, I can see things moving quickly, but
because
it doesn't mean I can react quick enough to actually deal with it.
Because, like, what if that means they've got like an amazing graphics card and like a shit processor?
Yeah.
And
that would mean that, like, kind of when they... Because I always thought that if that was the case, they'd be sitting in front of cars, seeing it getting closer, but they're seeing it in slow motion, so they're going, I've got time. Like, this is fine. But maybe they're going, no, it's coming to like that scene in Austin Powers when the steamroller's going to run that guy over, and he's just standing going, no, it's just that. The pigeon's going, oh, God, it's coming towards me. Yeah, I should really do something about this.
Maybe the pigeon was there for an hour watching a car come slowly towards him. He was like, I know I should do something.
Yeah.
I can't... I think maybe it's just really indecisive.
What is it I'm supposed to do at this juncture?
Do I want to be run over? Do I not? Right. Remember, Frank, which one is it?
Do I peck the bumper?
I mean, it does seem to be moving quite slowly.
Yeah.
I've got time.
It feels safe. I've got time to think about this anyway. And then he starts thinking about Luther.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good pigeon fact. I like that one.
Yes, you're welcome. You can use that. Just in life, not in comedy. It's not funny. I've tried it.
I'll try and remember it when I'm driving at pigeons to go twice as fast.
Yeah. Yeah, get them to really just speed up their processing.
I think that's the moral of the story.
That is basically it, yeah. Yeah, you can try harder to get pigeons. That's why they always fly away when kids run after them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, pigeons are idiots, but so are kids. So
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
You can eat pigeon. I've had pigeon.
You can eat kids.
Yeah.
If you cook them well enough.
I mean, you shouldn't.
No,
I don't think.
absolutely. Again, my word, this is a dark podcast. I think I'm tired.
Maybe you should have a shower.
Yes, that is. It would wake me up.
Yeah. No, I did eat pigeon once. It was
On purpose?
yeah, it was at a fancy restaurant, and I ate my pigeon, and it had some shot in it from like a shotgun or whatever,
Oh, right.
which seems like a big gun to go after a little pigeon,
Yes.
unless they shot a lot of them at once. Two birds with one.
Maybe.
I don't.
The pigeons, is it because it's wood pigeons, isn't it, that you'd eat?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I was reading that.
What are the odds that someone walked down sort of Cardiff High Street looking for a pigeon? There's the one.
That's... Well, maybe.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to rule it out.
Well, this was supposed to be quite a fancy restaurant. It was like a big family meal,
Right.
and it was like a multi-course dinner, and one of the courses was pigeon. I think it was quite rare as well, which weirded me out, because I thought that you're supposed to have
As
all
in
poultry.
uncooked or uncommon?
Yeah, as in like when it's sort of pinkish red, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought that all birds you were supposed to eat really quite well done. But
Oh, I'd
don't
have
know.
thought so as well.
yeah, I don't know. Unless there was something wrong with it. Maybe I should have sent it back. I mean, it did have gunshot in it, and it was a bit...
I mean,
undercooked.
that's...
But I'd never eaten one before. I didn't want to look like an idiot.
I probably wouldn't have opened it up and gone, that's a bit pink. Gunshot's fine. Like, I don't mind about that. I've lost a tooth, but like that is a bit pink.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it wasn't a bullet after all. I don't know, really. If it'd been in like if I'd ordered pigeon from a Weatherspoons and it had come out all squishy, I'd be like, nah, send it back, stick it in the microwave,
If
give
you'd
it another
ordered
30
pigeon
seconds.
from a Weatherspoons, it would definitely be from the high street.
Yeah, it definitely would. Yeah, and it would be microwaved. But,
Yeah.
I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying, Weatherspoons don't introduce pigeon on your menu because, I am curious now. But I'm saying from this fancy restaurant, I didn't want to question them because then I thought maybe if I sent it back, then I'd look like the idiot,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's like, I've only ever been to a couple of restaurants where, like, sort of when you're trying wine, they pour it first.
yes.
Like, I normally go to places where the wine is white or red. And you can deal with that.
Or
That's-
the cheapest.
Yeah. But like I've only ever been to a couple of restaurants where they sort of they pour it out first, and then you try it, and nobody knows what it's supposed to taste like. You just go, yeah, okay, yeah, it's not awful.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to just tell them if it's corked, though, right?
Yeah, but
I guess-
I wouldn't know.
Isn't it if it tastes like vinegar?
Yeah, I think all red wine tastes like vinegar though.
All right, well, stop ordering red wine then.
Yes, I don't really like
You
it.
should be like, no, that's red. I would like to send that back, please.
And what letter of the Welsh alphabet was that?
What? Which one? I guess that's a T. I don't know.
Maybe that's Q.
Oh yeah, maybe that's where Q went.
Yeah,
Guys, I found it.
yeah. Turn into the international sign for it tastes nice.
Pretty much Q, and what are the ones we're missing? J is like a hotly disputed letter in the alphabet because it's not really like you're not supposed to use J if you're speaking Welsh. You're supposed to use like the letters T and S instead of letter J.
Obviously.
But then like nobody wants to put like spell jam like TSAM, like Sam.
No, but I don't think that's the most ridiculously spelt Welsh word that you have.
I don't know. I don't know. J's are so much easier. Why? What's the most ridiculously spelled Welsh word that we've got?
Well, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it.
Oh, okay. I mean, it is phonetic, so
Yeah, allegedly.
if you've learned the alphabet, it is phonetic.
Yeah.
Which is
I
not-
believe you.
Yeah.
Well,
If you don't want to crash your car in one of these very many complicated road works that you're going to experience on the way back tonight,
Yeah.
then maybe you should.
I have Waze on my phone. It's really handy. What's your favourite tea?
My favourite tea.
Yeah. What are we talking? Just a sort of English breakfast, or?
Do you know what? I often drink decaf tea because I think that I'm quite sensitive to caffeine nowadays.
Okay.
I don't know what's happened. So I've moved a lot more towards like peppermint teas and things of late. Right, okay. This is bad. I think tea drinkers everywhere will be really angry about this, but I'm going to go with it anyway. I have been quite enjoying tea lattes recently. So
right, okay.
Like teas with frothy milk.
Yeah. Chai latte.
Well, no, it's not always chai because the chai is the spice one, but like you can get like different.
I thought chai just meant tea.
I think the chai lattes have got like those specific spices and flavours and stuff in them, haven't they? Like they've got
possibly.
I've got some in the kitchen. I can go and check. Yeah, no, I think chai latte is a specific flavour, but you can get the standard tea lattes with like rooibos and all like different ones, but they get slightly sweeter when you put them with frothed milk.
Oh, okay.
And because I don't want like lattes and coffees and stuff because there's just too much caffeine. I've been really enjoying those recently. You can get something called a London Fog, which is ridiculous, but I've had it in a cafe. There's a local cafe that does it.
What's a London Fog?
That one is Lady Grey tea with, I think it's a small amount of like vanilla syrup and also frothy milk. So it's like a sweet kind of, it's like a latte version of tea.
Oh, that sounds very interesting.
I really like it, but also most tea drinkers would, have me whipped and...
Oh, Sodom.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. There's a lot of snobbery in tea and the like, but like they probably wouldn't traditionally drink stuff like some of these Twinings, like that one.
So these weird fruity, exciting things.
Yeah, it's beetroot, I like that. Ginger and orange.
I'm excited, but beetroot, ginger and orange. Yeah.
Although I don't think we've got time to try it in this.
I'll just have to keep dreaming.
Yeah. Well, no, we can have one at the gig.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird, isn't it, to bring your own tea to a pub?
Yeah, I sod it.
We'll try it. See what happens.
They might have some. I doubt it, but this is I just got in touch with people and said, "Can you send me some tea?" And they were like, "Yeah, let's do that."
Yeah, and not just some. They've sent you all the tea.
I've got about 300 tea bags.
That's a lot of tea.
It's so much tea.
And guests.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm not. I was, by the time I've done that many podcasts, that it will have all gone off. So.
Does tea go off?
It does, yeah. I had this conversation with Carl earlier.
Right. Well, I don't want to go back of the same old ground. I've got like spices in my cupboards that went off in 2015 supposedly, but I don't believe them.
Yeah, this one's December 2020.
That is too soon. I don't believe that. In fact, I've got tea that's older than that in my cupboard. I've got a really fancy Japanese tea that I've had for probably about 9 years now.
I'd probably keep it there.
Yeah, all right. Well, no, do you know what?
It's all organic, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's dry.
Yeah.
Like sugar is organic, right? Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine because as long as there's no moisture in it, it doesn't go off.
Yeah. Well, there's moisture in the air, though, isn't there?
Well, yeah, I suppose it is Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
And anywhere.
Oh, there's a lot of brown stuff at the bottom of my cup.
Sorry about
maybe
that.
That's well, I don't know. Maybe that's the chocolate.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, there's actual chocolate inside these tea bags. And, I've got that too. Sort of sediment.
Yeah.
Of sorts. How do you make your tea? We've already seen this. You brew it for the appropriate amount of time, take the tea bag out, then milk.
Yeah.
Is that what you do with a standard?
With a fork.
Yeah. Obviously use a fork.
Yeah, I don't own a teapot. Well, I live alone, so I just can't be bothered. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
making one tea at a time.
Yeah.
Although my old flatmate had a tiny little metal teapot.
Why though?
He just used to make himself tea, which
but
was a bit cruel because I was there a lot.
Yeah, if that was very much a pointed message aimed at you and no one else. I don't know. I quite like to save on washing up. I will do. I think when you live on your own, you're cooking for yourself. I can't remember the last time I ate a dinner not out of the container it was prepared in. So.
Do you mean like saucepans and?
Well,
do you just have a saucepan sitting on your lap?
Sometimes I will do that. Like sometimes I'll eat things off a tray. But if you've bought like a sandwich, you eat the sandwich out of the packet. If you buy, do you know what I mean? If you're making stuff, if you've made it in a tray and things, it's easier then. Like you don't want to just have unnecessary washing up from plates. If you've got to combine everything onto a plate, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you just needed to put in the microwave or whatever, No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm very conservative with the amount of stuff that I want to wash up.
Yeah.
The other day, I microwaved. What did I microwave?
Those little containers get very hot.
What? The,
Like, sort of anything you prepare food in.
Oh, you mean for, like, instant meals and stuff? Oh, yeah, they do, but if you put them on a tray or something on your lap and stuff, it just...
Yeah, good
Because
point.
also, all of the cheese that, like, melts onto the side of those containers is, like, stuck to the container. You can either spend ages hacking it off in the kitchen, or you can just take the whole pot and then spend your time making sure you've got every last bit of cheese.
Yeah.
I'm not one to waste cheese.
Is most of what you eat cheese?
I won't lie, there's a lot of cheese that goes into my day-to-day life. I've had 2 different types of cheese already today.
What cheeses have you had?
I've had red Leicester cheese in a sandwich. Then I had
Solid.
another sandwich, but that one had Edam in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought two
Exotic.
different countries, so that's 2 of the food groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
My sister went to a cheese fest at the weekend.
Oh.
Yeah. In Colchester, in
Like-
Essex, where I'm from.
like
I'm
a-
not from Colchester, but it's down the road.
Like a making cheese festival, or like one of those West Country festivals where they roll them down the hill.
No, well, neither. What do you mean by making cheese? Like, they didn't make cheese there. But it was people that had sort of cheese-based products, like sort of various cheeses and stuff.
Oh, right.
And they had, like, it was like a food fair.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, sort of, loads of people had their own stalls, and, like, they sort of prepared cheese in different ways, and there were, like, some cheese pancakes and...
That sounds... Yeah, I mean, so was it like a... So it was like a food festival then, not like a...
But cheese-based.
Cheese-based.
Yeah.
Were they competitive? Were people, like, judging the cheeses on the different flavours or anything like that?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't have that
Were
information.
they parading their cheeses around a ring, only to pin a rosette on the winner?
I should have thought about how excited you were going to get about cheese, and then managed my questions. I've done it again. I've got a book with some questions in there, but I've left it in my bag.
But which you mean you don't have a book with questions in?
Well, no, I do have it. Just
let's see them. Let's do it.
I think I've done most of the questions anyway.
Have you? Do you want to check?
Oh yeah, no, I have. Yeah, it's what's your favourite tea?
Yeah.
Are you a biscuit dunker? Mm-hmm. And how do you make your tea? Those are the
Those are
the
the
regular
tea-related
questions. Yeah. Well, there's other ones like, do you have a particularly fond memory of tea? Like anything sort of, like a sort of a time that maybe you've had a horrible cold day and like you've been out and then all of a sudden you get in and someone gives you a cup of tea, which if you live on your own is terrifying.
Yeah, that'd be a real surprise. Actually, the thing is, I never used to drink hot drinks when I was growing up ever. And I still, when I go home, I still tell my mum not to make me any hot drinks at all. So when I'm in the house, I don't like having teas and coffees and stuff made for me. That I don't drink that much during the day anyway, in terms of fluids or anything at all. So
should probably look into that.
What, just like not drinking things? But I think generally I used to just drink cold drinks and stuff during the day, and I'd never drink. So now it's almost like I have cups of tea and things. I've only started doing it since working in an office, basically.
Right.
I think that's what happened, is that because I think when people were having a little break to go and have a cup of coffee or tea themselves, I was like, well, I want to have a break and have a cup of tea or coffee, and that's when I started drinking like anything warm, because I was not going to miss out on time procrastinating away from my desk.
Yeah.
Same as I was always really annoyed when the smokers used to go out for their break, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd love to have like 5 minutes to just stand outside.
Well, that was it. Like, I used to work at McDonald's when I was like 16, 17.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, it was a good job. It gets a lot of stick, but it was actually a good job. But every day there'd be all the guys would be going out like having their cigarette breaks. Mm-hmm. And I'd get really jealous because they're all, they're all sort of, they get to have 15 minutes. I think they were allowed 15-minute breaks every 3 hours or something. So they would just allow 15 minutes to go. Whereas if I stop moving for like 5 seconds, I get shouted at.
Yeah.
So I just started telling them that I was smoking, and then I'll go and sit in the little hut out the back.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think with the popularity of vapes and things nowadays, I don't see why you couldn't just take out a little vape, just go and puff on some, I don't know, Hubba Bubba smelling like vape fluid without any actual tobacco in it. I mean, why not do that? Just go have a little time.
Why not get a bubble pipe?
Bubble pipe,
Yeah.
yes, that's a great plan. Yeah, I don't know if you need to nowadays. I don't know if you do now. Do they still have smoking breaks now? Do people still have them?
I I think so, but they're probably smoking is largely more frowned upon than it used to be, isn't it? It's not frowned upon per se, but
I think a lot of people just vape indoors now when they need to, so it sort of gets away. It's weird when that happens at a comedy gig, isn't it? When you see like a little puff of smoke from somewhere in the crowd.
I always just think someone's on fire.
Yeah, which is
it's a very mild panic.
Sometimes it's a nice distraction if the gig isn't going so well. I'll be like, "Oh, you on fire? All right, we better."
I wouldn't know.
That's fair. Well, just you wait till you see my very exciting
also
gig
not
tonight.
True. Although I was having, I will say, there's a nice distraction the other week, but I was having quite a nice time. But the nice distraction just sort of led to weirdness. I got heckled by a balloon.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I was doing this gig, and I was, it's a massive hall, and talking away, doing my set, having a nice time, and then I was aware that there was a balloon like full of helium that was it had obviously been up there for a while, and it was on the ceiling.
Yep.
And I sort of clocked it out of the corner of my eye that it started falling down slowly, and then there was one man in this room. There's about 90, 100 people in there, and I just saw this one man just sort of clock it, and he just looked up, and he started watching it, and then I was watching him, and I was like, oh, I'm being distracted now, and everyone's sort of wondering what I'm looking at, and I just had to sort of draw attention to it, and it was just it was quite funny, but I ended up having to kick it out.
You kicked out the balloon?
Well, no, I hid it several times, and it just kept finding its way back on stage. But I put it behind the banner, and then it just sort of floated back out again. So I ended up just getting it and taking it outside.
Brilliant. I love when that happens. I love when you get like a random entity that disrupts the whole gig that isn't a person that you can tell off. Like I've had a few gigs that have been disrupted by dogs. Have you ever had a dog in the audience?
Few
that
times,
happens from, time to time. They're always quite fun. I think I made a joke to the dog once, and then the dog barked, and then that got an applause break from the rest of the audience because they clearly thought that I must have done a joke that only the dog had understood, and they clapped me. Yeah. And then I felt like a king.
Amazing.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Do you know comedian John Long?
I do. John Long, Mr. Guitar Man.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
I was doing a very weird gig with him once. It was outside in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Near the Meadows. It was Peter Baisley sitting by a bench.
Okay.
And he just sat on a bench and sort of cried, and then we all did comedy around it. It's weird. It's a weird time.
Yeah.
But Bridget Christie was watching for a little while with her children, and Stuart Lee went past at one point. But then one particularly weird moment was someone was standing there who had an owl, and he I can't remember exactly what it was he said, but he loved his interaction, and he said, "Oh, it's weird. I've never done a gig with an owl before. No, don't look behind you." And it's just it's amazing. It was perfect timing, and I've butchered it, but it was very good.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not useful advice to comedians out there who want to improve their gigs, and it's like, the advice we're giving them is bring balloons and dogs and owls.
Yes, owls are a must, I would say. Especially if there's like any mice in a room, because they've got hawk eyes. Well, no, they've got owl eyes. They will see that. Yeah. They will see that mouse, and they will eat it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody the other day, I was outside I live just outside Cardiff, and the Principality Stadium where they're doing all the Six Nations and stuff at the moment, they have like these hawks that they've trained to chase and find pigeons that are living in the rafters.
Really?
Yeah, you know how the roof like opens and closes?
Yeah.
There's a guy who goes in with a hawk, and then like these hawks go and hunt down all the pigeons that are living in the roof.
I mean,
they kill them before
that is horrendous, but that is so cool.
It is pretty cool. That's the real sport, I'd say. I mean, that's the level.
What rugby?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't.
No blood sports.
Yeah.
I thought we've got away from that, if I'm perfectly honest. But
I always find a way to bring it back round.
Yeah. I thought it was me that was turning it into blood sports, but it's you.
But it was me all along. Yeah. It's this tea what done it.
Yeah. I think it's safe to blame the tea. Are you doing Edinburgh this year?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not going to go up with a show this year because I've got a lot of other comedy type things going on, which is good. It's lovely to be busy, but I think I can probably only afford maybe like a week or 10 days at most. So I might pop up.
Anything in particular that you're
Well, we are doing. So I was really lucky. Last year I got to be in a BBC Wales TV sitcom called Tourist Trap, which was really fun. We're doing a second series of that just before the summer.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it should be really fun. It's with the lovely Sally Phillips, who is just phenomenal. She's so good to work around, and so I've got that in the summer. We've also I've been lucky to have a few ideas commissioned for things like Radio Wales and stuff this year,
Lovely.
which is really good. So I've got we're still deciding and we're still talking through the specifics of it, but hopefully some kind of sketch show for Radio Wales that we're going to be working on this year for
amazing.
release next year. But also we're working on some Welsh language stand-up shows for the Welsh broadcaster S4C at the moment. So we're going to be recording those. We're recording one with Tidder Owen next month. So that's the first one. We've got another one to do with Ellis James. You know Ellis James?
I do, yeah.
So he's doing his...
not personally, but...
Well, he's great, and he's hopefully doing his next Welsh language hour soon after the summer. So I've got enough stuff to sort of distract me this year that I think I don't want to overstretch myself by trying to go up with an hour or anything this year. But I'm hoping to pop up just for the fun of it, just go and see everyone. But yeah, that's the plan.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be good.
Is there anything else that you want to plug? This will be coming out within the month, I would think.
Well, I suppose if it's coming out within a month, we've got a special episode of Tourist Trap that's coming out next week. So that will be in the past for you guys.
That will be
listening.
the past.
It will be the past.
Will that be on any kind of catch up?
It will still be on BBC iPlayer. So
cool.
If anyone wants to watch the Tourist Trap Six Nations special, it is probably heavily Welsh.
Is that first series on there as well?
The first series is probably not on because I don't think it's been repeated lately. But to be honest, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a sitcom about the tourist board in Wales, and nobody's particularly brilliant at their jobs. But I am I'm a PA to the main CEO of the company and playing a character called Kath. So if anyone wants to watch that.
Yeah, well, you literally just said there's no need to watch it because it's self-explanatory. So that is you're done. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You can watch that.
Is that the entire show? Like you just sort of go, well, this is just sort of what happened. So enjoy your evening.
Pretty much. I think you can get it. It's just lots of different people doing like quite silly things. I quite like it though. It's been really fun to work on. So yeah, watch that. Yeah. Why not?
Absolutely.
Treat yourself.
Yes. Why not?
Have a tea.
Yeah, have a lovely tea from Teapigs or Twinings, who also send me tea, and we're gonna go and drink that tea later. And I'll tell you what, when I do the intro of this, I'll tell you what we both thought of that. I'll drink it on an episode as well at some point. It's the beetroot with ginger and orange.
Hooray!
So yeah, I'll let you know how that goes. Thanks very much for coming on. And we're cutting it out sort of a little bit short, but we've got to get to a gig.
Yep, better race across town.
Yes, absolutely. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for having me in your flat.
You're very welcome.
And
you can shower here any time.
Well, that's much appreciated. I'm rarely in the area, but should it ever come up, I'll give you a shout.
Brilliant.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.
So that was Sarah Breese. That was a really fun chat. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. If you did, please do go to your podcast app and just drop me a 5-star review if you could. Even if you didn't think it was 5-star, it'd be really helpful if you could just give me a 5-star review. And if you didn't think it was 5-star, send me an email in private and just tell me what you think was wrong, because that's fine. I can deal with that. I can deal with constructive criticism. If you could just leave me a lovely review. That'd be really amazing. That'd really help me out. And please subscribe if you don't already. Subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Take their phone, subscribe for them through whatever app they may have. We are on sort of all of the main ones. So yeah, if there's any that I'm not on that you'd like to hear me on, email me again on. So you can email me at tpartypod@gmail.com, and that is the letter T, partypod@gmail.com, which is also my link for sort of all the social things. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at tpartypod. Again, the letter T, partypod. So please go and follow me there. Go and like all of my posts. Tell your friends. Get them to like all my posts and follow me also. And if you want to follow Sarah Breese, you can do so at, I believe, at Sarah Breese on Twitter, which is by her own admission is pretty much all she uses. Now, just sort of experimenting with the format this week. So we've got an outro as well as an intro, which keeps the intro slightly shorter. So if you like that, please let me know. Let me know what the sound levels were like, because a few people said that last week's wasn't quite loud enough, so hopefully this week's is a little bit louder. I've tried some things. I'm not sure if it's worked. If it has, let me know. If it hasn't, let me know, and I'll sort that out. So until that time, that's a weird thing to say. Until next week, when I bring out the next one on potentially the same day as this one. Who knows? Thanks very much. Thanks for listening. I love you. Bye.